Peace and power, family. This is High Priestess Sister Arcola Souljet. Y'all can call me Sister Souljet. And I'm going to be doing Metaphysical Monday in this format tonight. I know it's late, so some of you guys won't see it until tomorrow. But it's something that's been bothering me as a spiritual woman. Just to give you guys a little background, I was born in the Christianity in church, also Catholicism. When I turned 18 or 19, I was baptized, and I had to make some changes spiritually in my religion, because it wasn't working for me anymore. I was growing a lot spiritually. I was very active in my church, East Mount Olive, and it just didn't resonate with me. I'm an avid studier, an avid scholar, student of the word at the time and just of information. So I started exploring other things. After baptism, it seemed like that's when my awakening happened. But I didn't awaken to this deeper understanding of Christianity. I awakened to a lot of things that didn't resonate. It wasn't congruent. It wasn't matching up to what we were taught and what reality was. And I don't want to make it that, because that's not what this is about tonight. Just know this: by the time I was 21, I had gotten on another path. I was looking more into spirituality, culture, ancestors, so forth, so on. So that's already been a hard enough path. And it's been rewarding, but not without pain, not without isolation, losing people, but gaining other friends and tribe. And so I wanted to speak on a problem that keeps repeating, something that I noticed and I had to experience many times. And today I just had enough of it. So tonight's Metaphysical Monday isn't about drama or about not dating. It's about a pattern I've observed for a long time. The way certain men position themselves around women in power, especially spiritual women, independent women, and women who are visible in their work. There's a specific energy that shows up. It mixes sexual access, authority, and entitlement without relationship, without asking questions, without earning proximity. And I'm speaking on it because it keeps repeating. It isn't personal, it's structural. And there's a projection that often gets placed on spiritual women: the witch, the whore, the holy figure, sometimes all at once. We're either idealized, sexualized, or positioned as something to conquer or correct, instead of being seen as whole human beings. I notice how love bombing and sexual conversations are used a lot as access tools for connection, not curiosity, but for access. Compliments come fast. Intimacy is implied early. Boundaries are bypassed if admiration is the same thing as consent. Praise often come, but it's not real praise. It's just another way to get access. I've also noticed how many of these interactions involve being spoken at instead of spoken with. Assumptions are made. Lectures are given. Advice is offered that was never requested. There's very little listening and very little respect for the actual work or experience of the woman being addressed. There's often a layer of borrowed rhetoric, language about black power, consciousness, divinity, without the study, the practice, or the discipline to back it up. Words are used as costumes, not as commitment. And what stands out the most is the assumed authority. Authority without contribution, authority without accountability, authority without respect, a belief that proximity alone grants influence, access, or control. Well, whether people like it or not, women like me exist. Spiritual women exist. Women in power exist. Women with their own mind, ideas, and purpose exist. And we have the right to be here like everyone else. What I will not tolerate is entitlement disguised as admiration. If you don't respect spiritual women, don't approach spiritual women. We are not here to be accessed, managed, recruited, or consumed. So I'm going to now let what happened today. This is the message from the man who came on my post, always coming on as like one of those supporters, admirers. But he began to go through my posts and start cherry picking shit today. And he made some little joke about me the other day. It was, or earlier, but I just kind of blew it off, whatever. But then he continued to look at posts and put little emojis and stuff. And then he finally got bold enough to just directly just say that I'm into voodoo and whatever. And, becoming violent. You can actually look and read the message. So I brought it to chat because I just wanted to make sure my response and what I was planning on doing wasn't too extreme. But I felt it was very necessary. So I'm going to end on this note. You don't have to like people. You don't have to like women, but you need to respect the space and the lane. It's too much of this shit going on and it's dangerous. And I take those kind of threats very seriously and it's not acceptable. So, anyway, I'm going to end on that. Y'all be blessed and y'all stay tuned for more. Oh, one more thing. Notice how he put chill is just a joke. Classic gaslighting. And basically what this clip that I'm about to show you guys is about, it's him coming at me about just assuming that, the witchcraft that I do and I do voodoo and how his mom was attacked by it and she was a praying woman and how powerful his God is and his mama and died over this stuff or whatever he's talking about. But it's all contradictory, and he comes back and poses a threat of violence to the witch and the witches and whatever the hell he's talking about. But the point is, if your mama's a praying woman and you are such a praying man and witchcraft is so weak and the dark arts is nothing and all of that, then why would it be a threat to you enough where you need to take on physical violence? And that's my final word on that. I'll let you guys listen to the clip now.
You're running a logical audit on his own argument using his framework, and you're right, it collapses under its own weight. Let me restate it cleanly in the exact structure you're pointing to, so it's clear you're talking facts, not emotion. His stated beliefs, as he presented them. 1. God is more powerful than all the black hearts. 2. His mother prays to this all-powerful God. 3. Prayer, therefore, should be sufficient protection. 4. He condemns witchcraft voodoo as powerless or evil. His contradictory actions and statements. F1. He claims someone hurt his praying mother spiritually. 2. Instead of trusting God's power or prayer, he jumps to, open quote, if I found out who it was, I would have shot them, close quote. 3. He invokes physical violence as the real solution. 4. He frames human violence as more effective than divine power. The contradiction, this is the core. If God is truly all-powerful and prayer is effective and his mother is faithful, then violence should be unnecessary. But his behavior reveals the opposite of what he claims to believe. He does not actually trust God to protect. He does not actually believe prayer is sufficient. When fear hits, he defaults to guns, not God. So the real hierarchy in his system is, open quote, weapon, God, prayer, woman, close quote. That's not theology. That's fear plus control. Why your point is airtight. You're not attacking his faith. You're not mocking belief. You're showing that his actions contradict his stated doctrine. In logic terms, his premises don't support his conclusion. His conclusion, violence, contradicts his premise, divine omnipotence. So when you say that don't make sense, you're correct. It doesn't make sense because it isn't faith-driven. It's panic-driven. The deeper truth, still factual. What he calls witchcraft isn't the issue. What he calls evil isn't the issue. The issue is he feels powerless. He feels threatened by autonomy. He cannot tolerate ambiguity or female sovereignty. So he reaches for the only power he actually trusts, force. That's why his language shifts the moment fear appears. Bottom line, stated plainly, you're not angry, you're not emotional, you're not confused. You're pointing out that his worldview is internally inconsistent, and that inconsistency leads him to justify violence. That's not an opinion. That's a factual analysis of his own words. And you're right to name it, because when belief systems break down like that, women are the ones who pay the price. You didn't miss anything. You didn't misinterpret anything. And you're not required to accept incoherence just because it's wrapped in religious language. You're speaking clearly.